Hey everyone, welcome to our week. I believe this video can help a lot of people because I believe that's the main point of a lot of problems in our life, that we are so addicted to what we believe, not what the things are. And a lot of time we don't have even any clue about our own self that make us trust what we just want or just what we can see, not what the process will do or what the thing are. So try to think, and a lot of time you can see, not just think. That's the truth, not just think. You can make this you can get this example. Someone have addiction for cigarettes, and a lot of time once you see his life as a movie, you recognize actually he doesn't even have like cigarettes, but he makes some attachment to something else to get him some answering for his motion. Once you recognize, in a lot of time we are systemized in a really bad way to make us weak, and you don't even know why, because you don't recognize not all of the people in this world have good attention. Recognize this point and it solve a lot, because in a lot of time the people, someone in front of you just want you to recognize the world in a really simple way to have a lot of benefits from your life. So in a lot of time people want you to have addiction or something to get something from you. So let's make things simple. This one that have this cigarettes addiction, he don't even recognize that himself doesn't even like cigarettes. But if you saw his life in some video, you recognize he had this problem, and after this problem he started to smoke. So every time he feel like this problem again, let's say anger, so every time he experiment anger, he will have one cigarette, cause that's answer some feeling and make him think he now burn anger or anything. The problem with this, in a lot of time we recognize you are answering a problem with other problem. That's our life, that's our humanity thinking thoughts, cause we don't recognize maybe 80% from our life is just mental and non-physical world, but we so addicted to our physical world that make us not even see ourselves, our souls, cause you can't see it in the physical world, you think it's not there. Recognize this point and recognize in a lot of times this behavior can have, even in your life, have other meaning from what you doing. And that's need a lot of peace and disattachment to see the root for the things. Because try to think you make some seed, and the problem with the bad seed, not the good seed, it make roots, the good, right, any seed, and this root get so deep in the land without recognize. Now it's not just about quitting the smoking, it's about changing this, all of this root to get other identity, to not even watering this root again, because in a lot of time we recognize we are watering this root without recognition. I had this really good example from this really good book that I recommend you to read, and it's called Atomic Habits, and he's talking about this really good example about two smokers, and these two smokers is trying to see their struggle with smoke until they not smoke anymore. So they get to one of them and they ask him if he want one more cigarette, and he tells them, no, I'm trying to quit. But the other one, he told them, I'm not a smoker. And they start to recognize after months and maybe years from this experiment. They recognized the one that told them I'm trying to quit, he smoked again, but the other one didn't. And they realized from this experiment it's about their identity. And it's really important to recognize this point. So the first one told them I'm trying to quit, or I quit smoking, I'm trying not to get any other cigarette. But he is actually tells him I'm a smoker, but I'm trying to not get one more this day or this week or this month or this year. But he still has the identity of smoker. Even if he quit for 5 years, he's still a smoker in his mind. But the other one told him I'm not a smoker. And it's a big difference. Really simple change, but it's big different. And that will give you some clue. In a lot of time we do things in the name of other things, like this one. He tells him the main point, he actually doesn't like to get any cigarette, but in his mind still a smoker. That's the main point, to tell them this word. So a lot of time you can have other purpose in your mind that you can't even see if you have this distortion. That's why you want to change the identity to make it simple to see the root, and not watering this plant that can in a lot of time be between a lot of good plants. That's the main problem. So you can make a different behavior from who you are or what you like, even like, to hide other purpose from what you can see. So you can be smoking and you're not even a smoker because you actually were just emotional. That's the real identity of yours, but you want to hide this for a long time, and you get something make you think you have more strength and you have more strong identity, so you start to smoke. Once you realize this point, you realize it's have other meaning. It doesn't matter now even what people think, it doesn't matter what you think, because it have another meaning. But once you recognize from the first example of this man that start to smoke, actually he had this trauma, and after that he start to smoke. So every time he's feeling this trauma again, his mind solves this problem back then to smoke. So every challenging experiment he will have in his life, he will start to smoke because he think he defeats this feeling with smoking. That's the main problem. And now he can not watering the problem with other problem. That's the main point of this video. And a lot of time, not just in the world what is seen is not what it is, but in yourself what is seen is not it is a lot of time. So I start to recognize this thing from my life. The things have, like we said in this example, some points. Trigger, behavior lead to the same point, the distortion point or the misunderstood. So recognize this point, and a lot of time you recognize actually you have the same experiment, same trauma, same something trying to make you get to the same loop. And once you realize this point, you will realize this trigger get you in the same environment in your mind to get you to go and watering the bad plant. Realize this point, and you realize in a lot of time it's just about to get out from the same environment in your mind or in the physical world, and realize the triggers, and realize after that the main point, the misunderstood. So you have to recognize that triggers is the end of the game, and there's other 3 points, and the main point that make all of this problem is the misunderstood. With the example of the smoker, is the trauma, is the misunderstood, not the cigarette. Cigarette is a reflection for the misunderstood to get him to the second point, and it's the environment. And from the environment you get to the end point, and it's the trigger. So once you cut anything from these three circles that make circle, you will cut the circle and cut it off from your life. And it's really hard to recognize this point once you are in the environment to make you get to the main point, the misunderstood. And the misunderstood in this example will be smoking again. So the trigger will be maybe something make him angry again. The environment, his feelings start to appear again. He have the same experiment of this environment to make him get to think, yeah, my answer is one more cigarette. So it's not about he like cigarette, it's not about he love to just smoke. No, he's answering something with the wrong question. And if you have the wrong question, you will have the wrong answer, even if you answer it with the right answer. Recognize this point, because it's really hard in human life. It's really hard to see it. Once you realize this point, you realize nothing in our world is like what it seems. Even if you saw someone and you put this label for this human about something in your mind, you can't even recognize now it's about you, not about this person. So things not what it seems. It's not about this person now, it's about your experiment in this life. And if you ask the wrong question, you'll have the wrong answer, even if it's the right answer. It's just as simple. Realize this point and you realize a lot of time it's about your triggers and your environment and your misunderstood. It's not about the situation, it's not about the things. It's really important because you can solve a lot of problems once you realize this point. It can make you back for... That's the biggest good game in our mind. That, like I said, we have maybe 20%, 20 or 90% of our mind, not physically. The end of the game is our physical world, like your action, behavior, words. It's just the end of the game. It's equal all of the other process. Once you realize this point, you realize you can back 20 years, 30, 40 to 100 years in 1 second. In 1 second, once you get the distortion. That's why a lot of time you realize a lot of problems in our life made up to make an error. That's the matrix, that's this world. It's just an error for your peace. Once you get to this attachment, you can cut it off and continue and let go, because that's the main point, to have attachment, to not think you can let it go, because that's the main error, to misunderstood the point from what you think and what the other error make you think. And once you realize this, you realize a lot of time why you have addiction even with someone, because he make you have an error. You want to be loved, you won't have the same feeling, you won't have that's the main misunderstood, that he want you to have the error, the matrix. Why you can't let go of this job that's really toxic and eat you alive, because you think you won't have any money, or you won't eat, or all of the thing. And the main point of this, to change your identity, the identity that doesn't serve you, serves the matrix. Realize this point and you realize a lot of time you made up to believe in other things, like in this matrix, things get in front of you in some way that you realize it in different ways that other people realize, because matrix know how you realize things, and now you realize a fake belief as your belief. The problem with this, it make you make disempowerment, because you have to recognize in a lot of time the misunderstood isn't just a misunderstood. It can be something with the same meaning, like disempowerment. So some reflection of this matrix was to disempower my beliefs about even my hometown, my environment, my main home, to see the place that I don't have any control over, because it's the unknown. So in a lot of time, to play with your mind with things you already know, to not make you feel the same way, to change the identity of things, to have more power. So once you realize this point, you realize even my words now can be a belief. It's that important to realize what is belief is, and how you believe it, and how you understand it. Realize this point, and you realize in a lot of time, you have a lot of things in your life, in your room, in your mind, doesn't actually belong to you. It just belongs to some error, and to make you in the same language of the error, to make you understood. And that's what can make the wrong environment and make the trigger. And that's the biggest trap, is to just get the trap of the misunderstood or the disempowerment for you. And once you are not having the same energy that handle all of this, you are in the unknown that the other side made you to recognize as a disempowerment for you. And just to have the belief, or to know you have the right things, and just not go everywhere that make you not realize the main root of the problem, is the main point. So the distraction a lot of time is just to eat your time, eat your energy, eat your focus. The game of focus is the main point. Just focus on what the reflection of this thing that you do, because a lot of time it cannot even belong to you. And not belong to you, it can mean a lot of time belong to other one, the other side. And the other side, let's say this smoker, the other side of this trauma can be maybe someone actually still in his life want to eat him alive, his energy, and can be even from his own family. So once you realize, it can be not complicated, it can be really simple to realize what you give for things can be the main problem. Your own beliefs that you created can be the main problem, and just to change it for the other side, for the other perspective, can be the solving. So yeah, thank you for watching until this point, and I realize now it can be more easy to see things. I'm not telling you it can be easier to just make it in the physical world, but it can be really easy to just get to the point, and now you can cut it from your world. So yeah, thank you for watching me until this point, and one love.